Taurus G3C slide and the new Lakeline 9mm stainless threaded barrel. Hey guys, how's it going? So, as you know, the Taurus G series, the Taurus G2C, G2S, G3, and now G3C have been some of my favorite pistols, and they're featured in many videos on this channel. And today I'm going to be doing an initial review of the Lakeline threaded barrel. But before I do, let's just start real quick from the beginning. So I had the G2C, and right from the get-go people were saying that'd be awesome if somebody had a threaded barrel, because people want to use compensators, people like to use sound suppressors and things like that. Well, then a pistol came along called the G3, the full size, and right away I said, I wonder. And so many of you guys did too. Will this G3 barrel fit in the G2C? And yes, it did. And if you're new to the channel, go back and check my playlist. Not only did it fit, but it actually functioned. So as soon as I put that video out, it started off with hundreds. Now I bet you there's a couple thousand comments throughout the many Taurus videos on this channel where people are saying, I wonder if there's a way to thread the barrel where we can put our muzzle devices on it. Well, to make a long story short, I went through to one of the well-known manufacturers of muzzle devices and I looked at their threading, compatibility chart. And I measured the outside of the barrel, and it was not quite thick enough to properly thread 1/2 by 28, and this kind of frustrated me. And that's why you guys never saw me thread my Taurus G3 OEM barrel to put in my G2C or G2S or G3C, just because I was afraid the barrel was going to get a little too thin. So many of us were saying, well, why won't Taurus just make a threaded barrel? Well, Taurus didn't make one, but Lakeline LLC did. And the second this came out, you guys blew me up. Like, they put it out in advance notice before they were available. And I was like, man, I have to get one. I have to get one. Well, I bought one after they came out to the general public, just like the rest of you. And here it is. And I'd like to do a quick video. And I was actually going to do this video in a couple weeks, but I need to do it right now. So here's the deal, guys. I'm going to go as fast as I can in this video, but I just can't do this video in 5 minutes. So please, if you're not interested in this topic, you've probably already clicked away, but if not, maybe you'll enjoy one of my other videos. But I'm going to have to spend a few minutes on this because I want to show due diligence. I want to show you guys exactly what I'm experiencing, and I'll cut to the chase. I've got issues, and I'm kind of bummed out right now with this barrel. But my intention is not going to be to bash Lakeline. I have no intention to do that, and as we go through this video, I think you'll see. And I'm also not going to tell you guys what to do. You guys will decide for yourselves, but this video is going to be a couple weeks from now, but I need to do it today so that you guys can make a well-informed decision on what you want to do. So don't ask me what you should do. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to make your own decisions, but I am going to show you, which I always do on this channel, what happens when I unbox something and what I'm experiencing in my first initial thoughts, overviews. Most of them seem like they work out pretty well here. I've had pretty good luck with most products. Sometimes not so good, and I've showed all of them. And that's what's kind of cool about this. I do this for fun. Yeah, it costs me money. And thanks to you guys and your support, which if you want to help out the channel, down in the description are the links. The Amazon affiliate link, which helps. My Patreon, Subscribestar, and those of you that just mail me cards in the mail. Allow me to buy this stuff with my own money. Donations from you guys that go back to the channel. So this was not given to me by Lakeline. Even if it was, I'd still give my honest review, but I'm not beholden to anybody but just you guys, and just to hang out and have a good time. And fortunately, sometimes we have to do videos like this, but I'm going to try to be fair because, again, I don't want to bash anybody's product, but let's just go right along here. I'm going to go as fast as I can, and I'll cut in and out where I can, but here's where we're going to start with this. Just wanted to get it out of the way that so far, not so good. Just for those of you that are maybe wondering. Alright, so I went to their website, and I'm going to go real quick here and read from their website when this was available. And it basically says Lakeline LLC threaded target barrel for the G3C, G2C, G2S, and PT111 G2. And boy, was I pumped when I saw that. I wanted this so bad. And to prove it to you guys, look. Simultaneously on eBay, I even ordered a couple muzzle devices. A 2-port compensator, muzzle brake, a linear compensator, just because I wanted cool stuff to throw it on here, because I knew it was just going to drop in and work. And yeah, so I've already bought stuff to go with this barrel. But don't worry guys. I have a $40 Bear Creek Glock 19 barrel that does drop right into my Rem Sport slide, so I'm still going to be able to test out some of these cool muzzle devices. And I even have a friend who's going to let me, you know, with him there, all NFA rules, you know, shoot his suppressor. And I wanted to do it on the G series. I don't know, maybe we'll still be able to, maybe not. But if worse comes to worse, like I said, my Bear Creek $40 Glock 19 barrel drops in, not a problem whatsoever. So, all right. So let me go back to this. So threaded barrel. I was just trying to let you guys know how excited I was. And as you can tell, this is not scripted. This is just a natural. Just like if I had 4 or 5 of you hanging out with me right here in the shop. That's how we're talking right now. So I just read the heading, right, to you guys. Just one more time. I was so excited. And I still am. Hopefully I can somehow get this to work. All right. Description, introductory pricing, Lakeline threaded target barrel, blah, blah, blah. All right. Constructed of 416R stainless steel. Target grade, precision cut rifling, 1 in 10 twist, looking good. 3.8-inch barrel length with SAMI specification chamber. 1/2 by 28 threads. Okay, cool. Engineered and made in the USA. Awesome. Stainless finish. Okay. Drop-in fit for the G3C, which I've got a couple of those. Cool. That's the one that I wanted it for, by the way. But then it says in bold, in all fairness, it says right here in bold. Minor fitting may be required on all G2 series pistols. PT-111 G2, G2C, and G2S. Now, I read that before I ordered it. And I read the drop-in fit for G3C, and that's what I considered. And I said, well, you know what? If I had to do some fitting for the G2C, the G2S, I have a couple G2Cs, as you guys already know. I might just skip it on those. But it's a drop-in fit for the G3C, so no matter what, it's going to work. All right, so let's fast forward to today. Got it in the mail, unboxed it. Came in just a plain brown envelope, nothing special, but it was in perfect shape when it got here. So the shipping and packaging was plenty fine. All right, so I found the barrel itself, which let's take a look at it real quick while we're here. We have stainless steel. You can see the exterior fluting. High polished on the barrel itself with more of a matte satin, bead blasted looking finish on the chamber hood and those portions, right? The feed ramp appears to be slightly polished, a little narrower profile than this Taurus OEM, but it looks okay to me so far. The rifling looks clean. They did clean out after they reamed it. I've bought barrels before where the inside of them was dirty with specks and goop and metal shavings. Nothing like that here. So the fit and finish looks good. The crown looks excellent. Everything looked good right away. And I'll tell you guys what I did before I even tried to fit it. And we're going to show that in just 1 second. I said, okay, let's try this 1/2 by 28 linear compensator. And I'll show you right now. This thread's 1/2 by 28. Perfectly smooth. I mean, I'm just using 2 fingers here, guys. No burrs. So the machining's impeccable on the 1/2 by 28 linear comp. Okay, cool. Everything's looking good so far. And it comes with a sheet of instructions. All right. I'll be honest with you, I didn't read the instructions. I just tried to fit it in my pistol. So I'm going to read the instructions first. Here they are. You guys might want to pause. Taking a quick zoom in here. And then here. Okay. Let me go back to this section where it says fitting. Let's see if that'll focus in. Right, there you go. You can pause that right there if you want to read that. All right. Installation of the Lakeline LLC target barrel installation instructions. Supplies, firearms cleaning, and lubrication supplies. All right, check. I've got that. All right, procedure. Check the pistols unloaded, remove the mag, field strip the pistol, removing the slide, recoil assembly and barrel per factory user manual. Got that. Check the fit of the new barrel and make sure it fits into the slide. If not, see notes. Clean the barrel to remove any grit from machining by running patches or solvent on them through the barrel, which if I ever get to shoot this, I would do that. But right now, that all looks good. Then they're saying lubricate the barrel. I've not gotten that far either. So let's back up here. See note. All right. We're going to get back to that in 1 second. So here's my test pistols. I've got the Taurus G3C 9mm in the IWB Forged Tech holster. We're going to be using that in 1 second. I'm going to cut out and take all these apart off camera just to save some time, guys. I have my Taurus G2S. Alright. I have my original G2C, the one that started it all for Taurus on this channel. I've had this for quite some time. Videos on this for about 1.5 years. This one's been seen on camera on this channel. Go back and check the Taurus playlist. Firing, not only fitting, but firing with the Taurus G3 barrel. That's going to be important in a second. You guys will see why. But here's test specimen number 3. I also have the project pistol, another G2C, which I've also shot successfully more than once with the G3 barrel. I also have the full size G3 OWB Forged Tech holster. So this is 5 Taurus pistols, guys. I actually have access to more, but at a certain point, I think 5 is enough. So somebody's going to say, no, dude, you didn't do the 6th. 5's enough, all right, guys, for what I'm trying to show here. Again, I'm showing you my results. You guys can see what you think. So I'm going to take these apart just to save time on camera, and I'll be back in 1 second. All right, so all I've done is taken the slides off of these 5 different pistols just to save time so you guys don't have to see it all. So let's start off with the G3C. Now this is the one that on their website is a drop-in fit, and this is the one that I intend to use the Lakeline barrel in. Right now it has the stock OEM barrel, so we're just going to take that out of here. And let me back up and just explain to you guys what we mean by drop-in fit. So I'm going to take this out, and basically drop-in fit just means you put it in there. I slightly angle it towards the front of the slide, through the hole a little bit, and it just literally drops in. And now when it drops in, you might have to kind of wiggle it a little bit. That's still considered drop-in, but the point is it's going to fit in there without any type of manual modifying, filing, grinding, sanding, etc. Drop-in. It just means it goes in there. You could even say plug and play, right? Especially if you're a computer guy. Now, notice how it drops in. And this has the tilting action, modified Browning action, where it tilts up and down when it goes in and out of battery. And when it tilts down, we're going to notice that the chamber hood sits essentially flush with the top of the slide. So this is a true drop-in barrel. This is the one that came with it, of course, right? So let's drop the Lakeline in here and see. So this is a little bit longer barrel. It's going to require a little bit different angle for it to go in and all of that, which I totally get. Usually I found the least angle the better on these longer barrels. I've put so many different barrels in so many pistols, it's not even funny, guys. And you're going to see right away, nothing. So let's try at a different angle. We're going to tilt it up. Just trying to show you guys what I'm doing here the best I can on camera. Nothing. Look, I'm going to try this a few different ways, guys. I tried this for a few minutes off camera too, trust me. We're going to come in at a higher angle. The most I can do is get it to bind where it's basically stuck and I have to jiggle it free again. So, right away, this particular Lakeline LLC barrel is not a drop-in fit with my particular G3C. This is where you guys are going to need to decide for yourself. Is this one barrel out of spec? Possibly. I'm not going to say that, though. I don't know. Maybe. Is this one slide out of spec? I don't know. Maybe. And I'm still not going to make any definitive decisions here, but I'm going to show you guys some context clues. The barrel that comes with the G3C, these are serialized to match. These both have the same serial number right here. Okay. It's a drop-in fit. Maybe they're out of spec together. I don't know. So I'm going to set this here. Just so you guys know, I'm grabbing something that's a totally different barrel. This is a G2S. Okay. This is still the G3C. So we're going to take the G3C barrel. We're going to set it over here to my left. I'm going to grab the barrel out of my G2S. And see if that's dropping on my G3C. And it instantly drops in just fine. So I now have barrels from 2 different guns that dropped in, locked up perfectly. Okay. I realize all you guys don't have all these different Taurus pistols, so that's why I'm doing this. And I said this will be long, but if you guys have any questions, make sure you watch till the end, because I love all the questions, but it's a little frustrating sometimes when I spend all my time doing a long video and people ask me questions that are clearly thoroughly answered in the video. You guys that have made videos know what I'm talking about. All right, here's a G2C. You can see that a mile away with the scallops, right? One of my G2Cs. Let's take the barrel out of it. Back to the G3C. Drop in fit. So far, again, using context clues only, one would kind of infer that maybe this isn't out of spec. Alright. But wait a minute. The barrel's longer, so hold on. Let's try this. This is my full-size G3. Okay, G3. Yeah, it's upside down, guys. To speed this up, I took the springs out and whatnot. So this is my G3 barrel, the full size, right? So let's grab the barrel out of the G3 slide. This being a longer barrel, I may expect to have to do a little more wiggling, if you will. Yeah, that angle should do. A little more wiggling, but drop in fit. Wiggling and jiggling's fine. Beating it with a hammer, forcing it, doing anything that your common sense says, look, something ain't right here. That's not considered drop-in. So if you guys are doing this with any barrel, including the Lakeline or others, and it's more than just a little wiggle jiggle, even if you have to stand on one foot and for it to go in, that's still fine. Just don't be beating it in with a sledgehammer. That's not drop-in, okay? So let's take this. A little bit of wiggling. That's fine. That's a drop-in fit, guys. Completely flush. All right. So the G3 barrel, full size, is a complete drop-in fit. I've just dropped in several pistols. I could keep doing more, but why, right, at this point? So every other barrel I have, that's a Taurus OEM barrel from the G2S, G2C, G3 full size. Nice. You can see the Browning action working perfectly there, tilting up and down. Modified Browning action, right? It's a drop-in fit, guys. Yeah, I have to do a little bit of jiggle to get it out of there. That's fine. Jiggling's fine. But back to the Lakeline. It doesn't matter, guys. I don't want to bore you. I'm just trying to be thorough here. I'm trying to show all due respect to Lakeline. I'm also just trying to do an old-fashioned, honest first impressions, guys. Good or bad. And trust me, nobody, including Lakeline, wanted this to go well more than me. Like, really was excited. I was going to go to a friend's house and put a suppressor and everything on this, guys. But look, I'm wiggling. I'm jiggling. I'm lifting my right foot up. I'm tilting. I mean, I'm trying to make this a little bit funny, guys. But at the same time, I'm dead serious. This is just not going to work. There's just no way. So, in my case, although every other Taurus barrel that I have in the G series is a drop-in fit, including the longer G3, and that's going to be important in 1 minute when we go into the instructions further. The Lakeline LLC is absolutely not drop-in with my Taurus G3C. All right. Now, let's go to the other series. Let's go to the G2C. This is the original one I've had the longest, guys. So you've seen like a couple dozen videos on this pistol. So we're going to take the OEM barrel out. Let's see if she drops in here. This has the most wear, the most rounds of any of them. So the hole on here might be a little more polished, a little more worn in. So we're going to go straight from my newest Taurus, the G3C, to the most used. I'm doing this on purpose. Let's see if this drops in. Jiggling. Whoa, look at that. I just started to get excited, guys, but here's the problem. It fits. It does overcome, okay, the barrel bushing portion, if you will, of the slide. But notice what it's not doing. It's not dropping down in the battery. You can still see there's a noticeable cliff there. This is just not sitting flush. Let's try this upside down. Okay. Right here. It is not sitting flush whatsoever with the top of the slide. So now I'm having issues with the barrel hood, the chamber hood portion not working. Now, I was messing around. I can do this. If I push down really hard, it gets close. I'm certainly not damaging the barrel doing this. If anything, I might ruin my extractor, but I'm just trying to help you guys. If I lightly tap, it does go flush, but that's going to be a big problem because now we're locked up in here and bound up. No longer can this action freely float like it needs to when it reciprocates back and forth. So this is not good. So to get it out of here, in fact, I can't even really push it out of here, okay? I have to give it another little tap. There we go. To get it to kind of float around in there. So it's still kind of bound up. All right. Now, that might be expected because this is a G2C. So we're going to go back to the instructions here. Fitting. So it says if it doesn't drop in, go to the fitting section. And that's exactly what we're going to do. They say one of the first 7 slides from a G2S. We've got one of those here too, guys. I'm trying to be thorough. One of the first 7 slides from a G2S, we put the threaded barrel in, didn't allow the barrel to tilt far enough to allow the longer barrel to drop into place. Which we've experienced that on the G3C and others that I'll show you in a second. It required fitting, removing some material along the top, front edge, and lower edge of the hole the barrel fits through to allow it to tilt far enough for the barrel to drop into place. That pistol is not likely to be unique. There are other pistol slides that will require fitting. If you have a G3 and your G3 barrel fits in your G2C or G2S, you won't need any fitting for the threaded barrel. Hold on a minute. If your barrel won't go further than this, you need fitting. So this is basically, this picture right here is showing exactly what I had going on with my G3C, the first one, where it won't go any further than this. Now, they're not even mentioning the scenario that I'm having on my G2C, where it definitely goes in, okay? But then it just won't freely drop into place, right? Without getting bound and caught, so. But hold on a minute, I want to go back to this again. And then we'll get into the fitting in 1 second. If you have a G3 and your G3 barrel fits your G2C or G2S, you won't need any fitting for the threaded barrel. Okay, let's check this out. My G3 barrel. The same G2C I just showed you. It drops in like nothing. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about, guys. How this should freely be able to float up and down. Completely flush. I'm doing it on an angle here, but look. So my G3 barrel requires no fitting whatsoever, either getting it in or getting it to fit into the final battery position. This is called being in battery, locked up. This is it unlocked or out of battery. No problem with the G3 barrel, but clearly I just showed you a problem with the Lakeline barrel. Let's go back to the G3C, where I can't even get it in this far. Now they're saying no fitting should be required at all. My Lakeline barrel will not go any further than this in the G3C, the one that's dropping. But my G3 OEM Taurus barrel, okay, a little bit of jiggling, that's fine. Look, perfect. All right, let's try the G2S. That's what they said on their test pistol 1 and 7. Now I'm showing you 5 pistols here. Is it possible that you take 1 and 7 and 1 and 7 needs fitted? Okay, that's fine. What's the odds all 5 wouldn't work? Well, it's possible, but you would have to do the math something like this. You would have to say this G3C is its own unit of 7. Also, this G2C is part of its unit of 7. Let's even take the 4 of them here, because it does kind of fit the G3, but it's not made for that, so I'll knock that out of the equation. Of the 4 pistols I'm bringing out that, you know, it's made for, and I could bring out more, trust me, guys. I just don't think it's necessary at this point without wasting any more of your time than I already have. I could say, well, this needs to be part of its own control of 7. So does this one, and so does this one. And so does this one, this other G2C. And I could say, well, that's fine, but what's the odds? I mean, literally, that if I were to have 6 other random G3Cs, which unfortunately I don't have, that this would be the only one it doesn't work in. And then if I had another 6 more random, let's say I borrowed them from 6 of you all and lined up 6 more with this specific one, and this was the only one out of that 7, and then I borrowed 6 G2S's from you all, and mine just happened to be the only one out of 7 of those. Now this is all possible, so I want to throw it out there. And then I grabbed my other G2C and put that in a separate control with 6 more of you all's G2Cs, and it fit in all 6 of yours, but mine was the only one it didn't. For you mathematicians, you guys can tell me the probability. So there is a probability out there, and sometimes people do win the lotto. However, that's fine. I don't want to nitpick on that note too much, because my goal isn't really to try to bash anybody. That's not it at all. And in fact, I'm going to make this clear right now. I think I did once. I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to do it again just to tell you guys the true intent of this video. I spent my 120 bucks on this barrel. Wish I had my 120 bucks back. Now, I'm going to do another video reviewing the customer service of them, and I'm going to attempt to return this barrel. And I'll explain further in a little bit why I'm going to return the barrel. And I'll let you guys know, and I anticipate they're going to be totally awesome with me, and I will be the first person to tell you when they are. But I think they will be, right? Just because they're probably awesome people. I have no doubt. Now, everything I'm showing you here, I may have the 1 and 7 of 4 separate controls, okay? Extrapolate the math, please, somebody, and tell me what the odds are here. 4 separate controls of 1 and 7, but I just happen to have the one that doesn't work out of 4 separate 7s. I know it's more than a 1 in 28 because I'm not good at this type of simple math. All right. So I'm going to go back to this again. They're saying that if the G3 barrel fits, then you're going to be good to go. All right. So here's the G2S. 1 and 7 of theirs didn't work. I believe them. They're fully warning you right in here. You might have to modify one of these. I totally get it. It's awesome. Now, I wasn't wanting to modify the G3C because that says drop in. And in fact, I'm not going to modify any of these. And I'll tell you guys why in a second. If you guys want to modify yours, please, by all means, modify. Whatever pleases you, tickles me to death. You can modify. I'm not going to modify, and I have my reasons why I'm not going to, but you'll have to decide for yourself. So here's the G2S. And we'll get into modification in just a second, guys. I just have to do this video naturally because I don't want it to come off scripted, because it's not. It needs to be organic because it's a fine line here. I want you guys to see my experiences, but I promise you, in no means am I trying to persuade you not to buy this. I'm also by no means trying to put a blemish on Lakeline. Like, I'm literally doing neither. I'm just showing you guys what happened, and that's it. All right, so I've got the G2S. I've got barrels all over the place. Give me 1 second here. All right, I'm trying to keep everything in order here. I have like 6 guns torn apart just in the name of science. All right, G2S slide right there. All right. See what happens here. It also drops in. Look at that. Same problem though as the G2C. It fits in there, but it's already getting tight. It does not, this hood area does not lock up and come all the way flush with the front. Okay, you guys can definitely see it there. See that cliff? Look at that. Now, again, if I force it, if I tap it with a mallet, I can feel it already flexing the extractor. See, I just pushed it and bound it in right now. Look at this. I'm pushing with a decent amount of force. There, finally. It's not dropping, folks. I'm sorry, it's just not, although I wish it was. I'm not going to grind the breech face on this. Don't you guys do that either. I'm going to show you what they recommend. You can decide if you want to do even that. Here's the barrel that came with it. G2S barrel. Goes right in. This is dropping. Watch this. It just fell right down. Notice there's no more cliff here. Look at this. This is, see, there's it out of battery. Okay, I'm trying to do it on an angle here. Here's it coming up in battery. Let me show you this. Just with my finger. You should be able to sit there and tap it up and down. So, that's the G2S. Just for fun here. No one's going to be able to say I wasn't thorough on this. Boring, maybe, but G2S slide, G2C barrel. All right. That's a direct drop in right into battery, guys. Look at this. This is dropping. All right. Do you guys want me to keep going here? Why not? One more G2C. Okay, this is the second one. OEM barrel, drop in fit. See that? There's the action working, unlocking, locking. Out of battery, in battery. All right. Comes right out of there, of course. It's made for it, right? Here's the Lakeline. Little loose goes in there. Same thing. So my G series, I'm getting a little further, if you will, on my G2C. My other G2C and my G2S, I'm getting a little further than the one that's supposed to be dropping, the G3C, but it's still not dropping. Look it. Same thing. I get a bind right here. Now these are on all three slides that I can take each of their own OEM barrels and swap them with each other interchangeably. Then for the wild card with the longer barrel, I can take the G3 barrel and not only swap it interchangeably, but it drops in perfectly to each one. And it even functions and it even fires, and I can prove it with past videos. But yeah, same thing, guys, right here. You're going to note that little cliff there. See that cliff? We're looking back here by the loaded chamber indicator. All I should have to do is push this to the rear. If you guys own these pistols, you know what I mean. Just push it to the rear and it should just drop. I'm giving it a little love tap. That's not enough. I'm pushing very hard. Now, watch this. Very hard. Finally got it to go flush. But watch this. I can no longer just tap. You know, I should be able to tap this up and down. Look it. All right, let's get the mallet out again. Had to give it a pretty good whack. I'm not hurting the barrel. If Lakeline's watching this or anyone else, you can see I'm purposely using a very safe, non-marring head on my mallet. I'm trying to preserve this barrel. But I'm allowed to test it, right? Like, you guys are going to test this. I mean, I was wanting to test it, like drop it in. Showed you guys how awesome it looked. Throw it on some cool muzzle devices. And take it to the range. And just to show you guys one more time as a control, if I've been this thorough, I may as well keep going. Here's the G3 barrel in this G2C slide. This is the project pistol slide, guys. Okay. A little wiggle jiggle. That's normal. See, that's the thing. You should be able to just push it back. Watch this one more time. You should be able to just push it back and watch it drop completely flush. And it does. See that? And now just with a slight tap, we should be able to take it in and out of battery. This is how the modified Browning tilting action works. See that? Just a little bit of gravity, maybe a little love tap, but really this is the tell-all right here. Watch this. So I have complete drop-in compatibility on 1, 2 G2Cs, a G2S, and a G3C. It is not completely drop-in, but I can get it to physically get somewhat close on the G2Cs and the G2S, but I cannot get the Lakeline barrel to fit at all in the G3C. Look, guys, I'm hoping I just got a bad barrel. You know what else I really, really hope? And I hope you guys are watching to the end, because someone's going to say something hateful to me that doesn't cause me any hurt. I promise you that. But they will, because they didn't watch this far. They're going to say, get over it, dude. You just got a lemon. Well, here's the thing. I couldn't afford to buy 10 of these to see if this was the only 1 out of 10 that was bad, guys. So I hope you'll believe me on this, because it's true. I hope that if they sold 1,000 of these, I hope that 999 of you, you all good people out there, got the ones that are just completely drop-in on your G3C. I hope. So I really, really do. Misery doesn't love company here, guys. I'm hoping it's literally just me. And I may find out in the comments it is just me, but something's wrong here. Now let me go on a little further. They're basically saying if it won't go any further than this. So this would be, they said for the G3 it's a drop-in. They're also telling you that if you're, for the G3C it's supposed to be a drop-in. They're also telling you on any of these pistols, the G2C or G2S, if your G3 barrel, one more time, fits as a drop-in, which this does, you shouldn't need to modify. So there we go. G3C with a G3 barrel. Since this is so easy on this one, I shouldn't have to do anything. But I do. So if you need a little bit of modification on your G2C or your G2S, because you're never supposed to need to modify this. This is per their instructions. This is what they're suggesting that you can do. And they're being fair about this. If I won't go any further than this, okay, that's where it's on my G3C, then material will need to be removed from these two edges to allow the barrel to tip a little further. And they're telling you right here, along the top portion and along the bottom portion. So let me show you guys. So I'm going to show you the G3C, but pretend it's your G2C or G2S, because you're not supposed to have to do anything to this. What they're actually telling you is there's this portion, right? Let's do it from the front. This is way easier. The portion right along the bottom here, okay? And the portion right along the top here, which makes sense because if this hole is larger, you can get a bigger attack angle, okay? And I have no doubt that probably if I remove some of the material here and some there, this isn't on the barrel, guys. This is on the slide itself. If I remove some material here and remove some material up here, I bet you the slide will go in further. Or this barrel, rather, will go further into the slide. Will it go in further and then still fail to completely drop in like the other 3 pistols? I don't know. I'm guessing, yeah, it still won't fix the problem. But I don't know. It might. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say it might. And they are being fair here. They do thoroughly warn you. If it isn't clear to you, don't do it. A gunsmith can fit it for you. It takes a little handwork with a round file, cleaning up the file marks and refinishing the edges with some cold blue on a black slide. Done properly, the barrel will still lock up as accurately as before. So they're warning you right now. If you don't know how to do this, don't do it. And I'm going to tell you the same thing Lakeline did. I'm not even going to go as far as them. I'm not going to tell you to fit this or not to fit it. I'm just telling you what's in the instructions right here. If you want to do this to your gun, go ahead. I'm not going to, and here's why. 2 reasons. And the first one's the most important reason. This is 90% of my decision. On this channel, I like to show reviews on new products and have as much of a control as possible. So for example, let's say I had modified the slide on these pistols before for another product, and then all of a sudden this Lakeline barrel didn't work. You guys would say, and I would say it too if I were you, well duh dude, it's not working because you modified your gun. So let's just say this hypothetically. Let's say another company, I don't know who it would be, Bear Creek, let's just say. They make barrels. Say Bear Creek makes a Taurus G series threaded barrel in 6 months and puts it out for 40 bucks, 100 bucks, who knows? And that Bear Creek doesn't fit. This is all hypothetical, guys. I don't know anyone at Bear Creek or anyone at Lakeline. Then you guys are going to say, but you previously filed it, dude. It's not a good control slide anymore. And I would say the same thing. So that's why I'm not going to do it. The number 1 reason. The number 2 reason is this. In my opinion, and I don't want you to take my advice on this, you'll need to call them. You guys have to call them on your own. Because if they say something to me, even if they say it to me, it doesn't apply to you. You know what I mean? But I'm going to believe that probably there's a good chance Taurus could void my warranty if I alter this slide. And in my opinion, there ain't a whole lot of meat here. Look at that little area. This is where your guide rod and recoil spring assembly goes. This is where the barrel goes through. There ain't a lot of meat on the bones there. That's very thin. Even if I'm removing fractional amounts, I don't want to. I don't want to potentially void my warranty. If you want to potentially void yours, go ahead. I'm not even saying in this video you're going to void it. I think there's at least enough of a chance you might, though, that you'll want to call Taurus if you're concerned. If you're not concerned with your warranty, that's fine with me. I'm not suggesting whether you should or shouldn't. But for me, it comes down to this. I don't want to void my warranty, but the main reason really is this. I need to keep these slides as control pieces so that as I'm doing different projects and trying different items that may or may not come out in the future, I need to be still working within the OEM parameters of the item itself. Now, one could argue, maybe I need to modify and grind on this. Well, that wouldn't be fair to Lakeline, so I'm not going to modify this barrel. Because nowhere in Lakeline's instructions do they tell you to modify the barrel. They tell you that if you want to, and if you're not comfortable, contact your gunsmith. That's what they say in their instructions. I want to make that clear. But nowhere do they ever tell you to modify your barrel. So, me, the barrel's cheaper than the slide, because basically when you need a new slide, you kind of have to buy a whole new gun, because they don't sell slides separately. I would be inclined in a way to want to modify my own barrel, right? But since Lakeline did not tell me to modify my barrel anywhere in the instructions, and they were thorough enough to actually give me instructions. Like, I understand, just so you guys know, I understand everything very clearly in these instructions. I totally get what they're suggesting that I do. If I want to move material to the slide, I understand why they're telling me to do it. Now, I don't have the problem they do. I have ones that fit perfectly, get way beyond this point, and still won't go into battery because of something going on up here. So I'm not even convinced that me modifying my slide in the portions that they're telling me to would fix my problem. Okay, I'm not convinced of that. But even if it did, hypothetically, fix my problem, I'm still not going to do it because, look, I'm not sponsored by Lakeline nor anyone else. So why I have nothing against Lakeline, I don't have an exclusivity contract. I have no contract with anybody, right? So who knows? Somebody else can make a barrel for this tomorrow or a year or two from now. And to be fair to that next manufacturer, my slides need to be virgin, unmodified. I think you guys know where I'm heading with this. Now, you guys may have other scenarios. You may not have channels where you're wanting to give honest reviews of stuff for people. So you're just going to think to yourself, who cares, man? I want this barrel so bad. And I understand wanting this barrel bad because nobody wanted it worse than me. Trust me on that. That you're willing to modify away. And I believe probably most of the time that these instructions are not going to steer you wrong. I'm not sure they're going to help me at all because the instructions clearly state, as well as the website, that the G3C is supposed to be a drop-in. One more time, it's not. And even if I do modify these portions that they're suggesting I do, let's say there's no channel right now, I don't even care, I just want this barrel, like I want this barrel more than the gun itself in this hypothetical. I'm not convinced that even if I do remove material from here or air up top, either or, it might get it to go down in, but as you can see, let's go right back to the G2C, the one with the most wear on it, the most worn in one. I've also tried one on one that's almost brand new. I'm giving you guys all the variables here. Even if I can remove enough material on the top and bottom of this to get it to fit, that's only half the battle, and the thing still doesn't come close to dropping in. This has to drop in, guys. You know what's going to happen, right? If I force this into place, you guys are going to ask me this. I'm going to tell you right now. This is a fact. This is what's going to happen. I'm not going to suggest that you try this, but if you do, told you so. If I force this down with a mallet, put the pistol together, I'm going to go to rack it. It's probably not going to rack at all. And if it does, I'm going to have a hard time. I'm literally going to have to be putting small amounts of tension on it at different stages while tapping it with a mallet to even get this thing unassembled. It's not going to be fun. And if I did do that, that wouldn't be fair to Lakeline. I'm not going to do that. And it wouldn't be fair to my pistols. And if I did break an extractor trying to pound something in really hard, it wouldn't be fair to do a warranty claim on Taurus. So I'm not going to do what some people may do, which is let's just abuse this stuff, let's force it to work, and then take it out on the companies and make them honor their warranty. I don't believe in that. Yes, Taurus has a lot more money than me. Would they really notice it? No. But my conscience would, and I'm just not like that, guys. So if one of you guys want to do this in some kind of way like that, I'm going to suggest you don't, but that's going to be on you. So I'm just not going to provide to you guys the test of how catastrophic it's going to be if I truly force this in here, force it onto the gun, because this ain't my first rodeo. I've had experiences similar-ish to this, not on these guns, but others. I already know enough about how the Browning action works, modified Browning action, in all fairness, works. It's not going to be pretty, so I'm not going to show you guys that. The minute that this does not just drop right in, it's a battery here. The minute it doesn't drop down, I already know there's enough of a problem where I just need to stop. You know what I'm saying? Just like the old saying goes, you got to know when to walk away and know when to run. I'm running. I'm not going to go any further, but I'm going to contact Lakeline. You know, clean up any grease on here. I believe this barrel's still in brand new resellable condition. In fact, if Lakeline does watch this, I would hope they would agree. I've been very courteous of what's probably soon going to be their property again, because I'm really going to have to return this, guys. It does nothing for me. It does nothing for you guys. And just so you know, bought this for the channel. Now, do I get the benefits of trying it out? Of course, but I bought it because so many of you were wondering about it, and I wanted it too. So the fact that you guys wanted it, I wanted it, it was kind of a win-win for everybody. So I'm going to clean this up, wrap it back up. The threading worked great on it, like I told you guys earlier. That was a cool thing, you know. I have a couple compensators here. Great friend of the channel that was ready to let me use his suppressor for this video, which I was really excited about, but since it doesn't fit any of my Taurus pistols, you're, no matter what, not going to see this barrel on this channel. Maybe, though, it's just a bad barrel, and they'll send me a prompt replacement, and you'll see that one, and I'll do a part 2 like so fast it won't even be funny. Nobody was more excited about these coming out than me, and I'm going to conclude with this. Do I just have 4 separate specimens here that are each in their own group of 7? Mathematicians, please help me here. Maybe. Lakeline made 1,000 of these barrels and 999 of them are absolutely perfect, and I really hope they are, and I got the one that was out of spec. Maybe. Any other maybes you guys can infer if you want, but I'm not suggesting that you do. Am I happy with this barrel? Of course I'm not happy with this barrel. It fits none of my guns. The one that's supposed to be dropping, it fits the least, and the other ones I'm going to have to seriously damage something to even try to make it work. Are the instructions thorough from Lakeline? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Do I believe the people from Lakeline are good people? Well, I have no proof whether they are or aren't, but just to give them the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to assume they are. So I'm not going to badmouth them. They give you very clear instructions on how to modify if you choose to, and they also tell you that if you don't understand, there's something called a gunsmith, and they couldn't have worded that better. So that's for you guys to decide. Should you get one of these? You have to answer that yourself. Do I recommend getting one? Let me word it that way. Well, of course I can't recommend. I can't recommend getting one because of what happened to me, but do not confuse the two. Do not conflate, please. I'm not disrecommending. I'm not telling you not to get one. By no means do I want their business to suffer. If you want one, go ahead. Okay? I just can't recommend it because I can't get far enough through the testing to do anything. Like, just keep in mind, this is just the initial unboxing. There's 10 more questions that you guys want to know, and I want to know too, and you can't tell me, like, how smooth is the action of the gun? I can't tell you that. How accurate is it? Well, I can't tell you that either. How does it look when the gun's fully in battery and it's slightly tilted out of the front? Probably pretty cool with the fluting, the very impeccable machining and high polishing, probably pretty cool. But I just have to leave that to a figment of my imagination. I did want to show you guys, in all fairness, though, thoroughly. I've tried a couple items, including this. The threads appear to be perfectly fine, so there you go. I can review that without putting it in the gun, I suppose. How does it fit in my Forge Tech holster with it on there? I don't know. So, of course I can't recommend, but I don't unrecommend, disrecommend. I don't call for boycotts because I don't believe in that, so I would never do that anyways. I think you guys know what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to show you guys the truth. I don't know anybody from Lakeline. They don't know me. I think they'll respect this video, though. I hope you guys do. I'm just trying to help out. What's really confusing me, though, is the fact that they said if your G3 barrel was a drop-in fit, which made sense to me because of the whole length thing. I understand, guys, angles. When you're trying to overcome a hole in the end, the longer it is, the more of an angle. So I understand this hole having to be right. I still don't get how, though, it won't drop into my G3C when the OEM basically, probably not exactly, but pretty darn close. I mean, what, like a 1/10 of an inch difference? Basically the same length barrels. This drops into everything, guys, and it locks up in both ways, both in the chamber and fitting through the barrel bushing portion of the slide. There's 3 different ways of logical deduction you can use when you go through their scenarios. Quite frankly, I have an outcome that's different than anything that was described here. I'm going to take a guess, guys. Maybe I just got a bad barrel. I don't know, though. I don't see anything, like, glaringly wrong with it. I mean, I don't have another one to test with it. Because I just simply couldn't afford to buy 10 of these. And why would I? Because I only really wanted one. I wanted to put it on my G3C, do some videos with it, and then I want to go right back to my original barrel, which works just fine. But then maybe in a month, because we like to do diversity on this channel, all different guns, I might want to just try it on the G2S temporarily, maybe another G2C, but then I want to put the original barrels right back. And this is just my opinion, and maybe it doesn't matter, I don't know. I want the lockup on the front here, the bushing tightness, if you will. I want that to remain good. So I know if this is a perfect fit, the OEM barrel right now, I know if I enlarge it to make someone else's barrel work, it can't be quite as tight. Will that affect accuracy? I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments on that. But that's all besides the point. I can't even get it to fit any of them, including the G3C, which is supposed to be a drop-in. So, yeah. We can call it fail if we want. We can call it just my bad luck. I don't know. This sucks. I really want to tell you guys whether it's a good or bad barrel. My particular one's very bad. But I don't want to say that the Lakeline barrels in general are, because I don't have enough of them. So, we'll see. I'll see if they want to exchange. If they want a refund, I don't know. I'll have to find that out. I mean, that's up to them how they do their business, and then I'll act accordingly on whether I continue to shop there or not. And I'll just give you guys an updated review how they handle it no matter what. But I'm sure they're really nice people. And I will do a part 2 so fast, hopefully just showing me slamming it right in there, 2 minutes, and then right out to the range. Because that's what I want to do with, not this one, but hopefully another threaded barrel. For my couple Taurus G2Cs, G3Cs, and my G2S. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and have a good one.